Yo, 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 what is up, everyone? Happy Wednesday! Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is doing very, very well. Without any further ado, let's get my fat head on the screen and see how we are looking today. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well on this fine Wednesday. I was about to say fine Friday. That's the temporal dislocation that we're dealing with here when you're a crypto trader. There's no real no such thing as weekdays or weekends. Everything just kind of blends into one mishmash of charts and price action. Is that a feature or a bug? I wonder. What is up, Marquise? Good to see you in the chat. What's up, DGen? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, we're live on X, Twitch, and YouTube. We're live on my X and the Kraken Pro X. We are live on the Kraken YouTube, and we're of course live on my Twitch. GM, what's up, Sis? Good to see you. What's up, DK, my man? How's it been? What's up, Film Ninja? Good to see you. GM. Marquise in the chat, nice and early. What's up, Nygot? GM. A set from 2014. Oh, yeah. And this is a banger as well. David August. I saw him live, actually. Back in my clubbing days. One of the better electronic artists that I ever saw play live. I was really into him back in the day. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing very, very well. A Discover Crypto Follis collab would slap. Good morning, Druth. Who is Discover Crypto? Am I revealing my ignorance? Who's Discover Crypto? GM, what the fox? Watching this from work. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're making the necessary sacrifices to get your fill of alpha. 16,000. I'm nearly on 16,000 followers on Twitch. That's good to know. Haven't been paying too close attention, if I'm being honest. But that's good. That's a nice milestone. What's up, Veslin? Good to see you. GM. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, interesting market here. Altcoin weakness is the story of the week. Weakness is the story of the week. There's a pun there. I'm too tired to make it, but there is a pun there. I'm not smart enough to find it. But yeah, altcoin weakness, guys. BTC dominance on a tear. BTC has pulled back just a few percent from the high. Yeah, like 2% down, but because dominance is ripping, altcoins have taken a tumble. A big tumble. You're in profit, Veslin? What are you trading? What's up, Beerlack? GM? How you doing? Yeah, we're going to jump into the charts in 2 minutes. Let's get a prediction going. You guys know the drill. If you're watching this on another platform, you can, of course, predict on... Twitch. We'll give you guys 20 minutes. Bullish or bearish? New York Open, first BTC, M30 candle. As always, we'll give you guys 20 minutes. There we go. The 20-minute grace period. You shorted BTC from the London session? Nice. Yeah, you caught it. Caught a percentage or so. Nice. Not too bad. What's up, chain and chart? What to expect from BTC today? Yeah, we can look at that. We'll jump into the charts in 30 seconds. Your girl lost her patience right in the finish line, so I guess I'm moving in new home alone. Oh, wait, actually? Is that a real story? I'm sorry to hear that, if so, Beerlack. She lost her patience right at the finish line. That's not technically within the remit of these streams, but we're going to cover it nonetheless. Sorry to hear that, bro. You know what? What's for you won't pass you by, isn't that what they say? Maybe with a bit of time and perspective, you'll realize that it was the best. Time to hit the gym. My man, time to hit the gym. The old ritual. The old male ritual. Hit the gym. Work on yourself. That's all you can do. It sucks, but oh yeah, you got fat, there you go. I've been there before. Trust me. Hit the gym, work on yourself, all you can do. And, you know, we got your back. The stream bros got your back. What's up, Micro Sailor? Good to see you. That's definitely a fake story. Girls are a myth. Girls in crypto, yeah, are a myth. Rough situation. What's up, Esauce? But better to find out it ain't gonna work before you move into it. Exactly. See, we're doing a little bit of relationship advice on the stream as well. It's not just TA. It's not just the high signal stuff. We're also doing. It's not just the high chart signal stuff. We're doing the relationship signals as well. What's up, Micro Sailor? How you doing? Yeah, rough, but he'll get over it. Easy sacrifice to watch the stream from work. I love to hear it. We're gonna jump into the charts, boys. It's been long enough. Let's see what we're dealing with today. So yeah, as we see here, BTC in a clear uptrend, pulling back from what I consider to be arguably range high here. And we'll look at other charts that are marked up in a second, but basically BTC in a range, and we're pulling back from range high. Now, I'm not necessarily bearish here. I think that if you zoom out, you look at the higher time frame, there's a lot of reasons to be bullish here, right? In the contextual time frame, of course, you can zoom out again and look at the downtrend we've been in October, but just taking this segment of price action going back to February for the purposes of this analysis, I think there's a lot of reasons to think that we will break out of this consolidation that we have been in since early June, 1st or 2nd of June. But that being said, I mean, could it pull back beyond the cards? Absolutely. Could we rotate all the way back down and retest this demand zone, this unmitigated demand zone? Absolutely we could. And that's kind of the chart idea that we were looking at earlier in the week, or perhaps the end of last week, is this retest of the kind of 60.1k all the way down to 59, 58k demand zone that has not yet been tested. And it's an interesting one because what do we have here? All of these juicy lows that have not been taken yet. So I think for sure if we start getting some downside momentum here, I know where I'm going to be looking. Do I think that that's going to happen necessarily? I haven't seen enough to say that I think it's going to happen yet, but that can change pretty quickly. One of the more interesting things to note about this pullback is, speaking about BTC dominance, since we've had this little rally in June, July, BTC dominance is up almost 3.3% from the low to the high here. Yeah, 2.9% now. The peak was 3.3%. So the TLDR is that we haven't really seen a meaningful capital rotation from BTC to alts. BTC is leading the way. A few select alts obviously running as well. We have big moves on Hyperliquid, big moves on LIT. Pump put in a big move recently, big moves on Zcash. But most alts are lagging, and they're lagging pretty hard. And I think we're seeing now the effects of that comparative weakness, because even though dominance is pulling back a little bit here, but you know, the week so far, the month so far, it's been tough. It's been tough going for alts. There are plenty of alts. If you look at the price action going back to start of June, you can say that, you know, this is BTC dominance. This is BTC, very kind of similar looking charts. We kind of have a range, and BTC is getting to the high of that range. There are lots of alts where they're trading down here. They're still at the bottom of that range, right? We have been in a range in June. A lot of alts are still at the bottom of that range, which is it's not ideal if you're an altcoin maxi. We definitely haven't seen enough for me to think that this is where you should be going risk on altcoins. This is where you should be allocating your capital to altcoins, beyond, of course, the ones that are outperforming. What's up, Rod? Shout out Rod in the chat. Rod in the X chat. Do we have a command for Rod? I think we do. Yes, we do. Look at that. Rod, you got a shout out on the Twitch stream. You got a shout out on the Twitch stream. What's up, Gorlami? Good to see you, bro. My curtain wanted to photobomb the stream. Can you see? Yeah, we got the wind blowing in here. It's a hot day. Trying to get some circulation going, some air circulation. You're on a 3-stream Florin losing streak. Hopefully today is the day you turn that around. We'll make it all back. Exactly. Yeah, we do. We got the Rod command in the chat. What's up, Yegor? Igor in the X chat. What's up, 9 Manny? Good day. Good day indeed. So yeah, that's kind of my read on the market at the moment. The TLDR is that, you know, BTC is still leading here. We haven't really seen any kind of meaningful rotation into altcoins yet. Now, that being said, I want to draw your attention to something that has me excited, right? So let's say you have BTC in this consolidation here, okay? A little range low deviation here. We are now retesting range high, okay? This is kind of where you want to start paying attention to alts, in my opinion. Well, maybe not quite yet. If we do this, if we break out of the consolidation and we start doing something like this, right? This is usually the period where altcoins see rotation. This is usually the period where altcoins start to play catch up, okay? When you see the confirmation move from BTC, right? BTC is saying, I'm breaking out of this consolidation, I'm breaking out of this accumulation, and I'm gonna go higher. So if this happens on BTC, I think this is where you want to start paying attention to the likes of Hype, the likes of Solana, the likes of Pump, the likes of you know, maybe even Zcash, Tau. I'm looking at the coins on my watch list, XPL, Near. You know, because this is even Ethereum, this is where you're going to see potential rotations. Some of the best trades I ever had in my life were BTC consolidating, nothing much happening on altcoins. BTC breaks out of the consolidation, again, nothing much happening on altcoins. Then BTC starts to consolidate higher, starts establishing value higher. And what happens is all that money rotates into this is how I this is how I symbolize rotation. All starts rotating into altcoins. You see majors running, you see mid caps running. Those are some of the best trades you'll ever take in crypto. Now, does that mean you long every dog shit alt under the sun? No. You always be selective about your capital allocation. You long coins that are likely to outperform. You long strong coins. You play into strength. You don't long laggards with the expectation that they're going to play catch up, because while they might, that's not a guarantee. Vertical accumulation, says Film Ninja. Exactly. Thanks for doing the streams, Follis. No worries, Yegor. Thank you for joining me on the streams. Take a look at LIT. Yeah, LIT is on the list. It's on my work list, on my watch list, I should say. But I'm not sure, is there anything to say about this one that hasn't already been said? Yeah, we're waiting for lower prices here. I still think we're gonna retest sub 2. We're gonna retest 1.8, 1.9. That's kind of where I'll be looking for plays. Yes, we have. You've heard of that? That's good to know. This is Near. Yeah, we're gonna look at alts in a second. I still some more thoughts on BTC. So coming back to this idea that we are breaking out, right? And I just want to touch on this a little bit more, right? We mentioned last stream that price was consolidating at resistance. Okay, we had this vertical accumulation style price action, and this ties in with our accumulation schematic from the trading syllabus. You guys know that I'm always talking about the difference in the ranges that we get at the end of an impulse. Price moves in two phases always. Impulses, corrections, trends, ranges, expansion, accumulation, or contraction, whatever you want to call it. The key to knowing what's going to happen next, the key to knowing what kind of impulse you're going to get next, whether it's going to be a reversal or whether it's going to be a continuation, is to look at the style of range you're getting. Look at the intermezzo, as we would say in chess. Look at what's happening in between the moves, what's happening between the impulses, right? That's the key to knowing what's coming next. So are you seeing a cumulative price action? Are you seeing buyers remain in control? Are you seeing evidence that the next leg up is coming? Or are you seeing distributive price action, evidence that sellers are taking over from the buyers, maybe a reversal is in store? And here I said that this is exactly what we saw. We saw an impulse up, and we saw this very accumulative price action, right? Higher lows each time, higher highs each time, no major sell-off that didn't get bought back, no major indication that sellers are taking over here. So we saw our pop from the low to the high here. We got like a 6% pop. This to me is evidence that perhaps we're breaking out. We took some key buy-side liquidity levels. Is this a breakout confirmed yet, though? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. This is definitely resistance, but I think now you can even look at this as a range, right? And just say that we are trading now at range high resistance. Still a bit of work to do. I think if you want to call this a confirmed breakout, this is kind of what you want to see. You want to see price getting above this this swing high, which would also be, if you go back, let's say, if we're doing some basic structural analysis, going back to the high that we had here in May, right? And this is I'm being very quick and dirty with this. I'm gonna do something like this. Boom, boom, boom. You could even call that a high, but we're gonna call this a high for the purpose of this. So bum 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 bum. Okay, bum bum. This is your structure. This is your structural leg down, going back to the 5th of May. 5th of May to start of July, right? Now, in order for this to break, we're gonna color this in red. In order for this to break, we're gonna color the swing points in red too. Or technically pink, I guess, right? Oh no, what have I done? What have I done? Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So in order for this structure to shift, you want to see price closing candles above the previous high. Something like this would be a break of structure. Okay, we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen closes above this level. In fact, now we're seeing price reject from just below that level. So to me, the structure is still saying clearly that downside is expected within this structure, right? That's not to say that I'm banking on downside or banking on we're going lower, but you know, we're trading into resistance. We still haven't broken structure. We still haven't shifted to the upside. So caution is advised here for sure. What do I need to see to change my tune? A clean break. As I said, clean break above this level, start accepting up here, and I think we rotate very quickly to this VAH level, very quickly to this low volume node, which I've spoken about before, and I think then we're going to see some meaningful capital rotation on altcoins. What's up, Johnsy? Good to see you, sir. Shout out Johnsy for adding probably another 20k or something like that to his breakout leaderboard performance since we spoke last. Man is on, are you on 50k now on the month? Which is just insanity, by the way. That's the kind of shit you dream of, man. Breakout leaderboard, 50k verified payouts on the month, and we're only on the 22nd. We're only 3/4 through the month, man. It still has another week. Yes, love to see it. Level to level, matey. Exactly. Exactly. New York. Oh, we have a new sound effect today as well. That's the exciting news in the stream setup. For the opening bell. Your shitcoins are unusually strong. Yeah, I mean, some are gonna obviously outperform, but I'm looking down my watch list here. Almost everything is red. If we accept back in the consolidation, we'd have a significant failed auction. Yes, I think you can make that argument for sure. I mean, it's still a range until proven otherwise, right? It wouldn't surprise me just to see this, if I'm being honest, and come back down here. And that would kind of line up with the plan that we outlined maybe last week, which is retest the 61, 60k area and then go higher, right? And that would be a rect-proof 3-tap setup. We actually have some material coming on this very soon in the Discord, because I realize I always talk about it. I always talk about the rect-proof 3-tap, but I don't actually have... we don't have any meaningful content covering it, so I wanted to cover it. Shout out Rect-Proof, the GOAT. I know he's a little bit less active these days, but One of the OG price action traders. Something like that. It would be pretty textbook rec proof 3-tap. If we get a good reaction, we long 65 250. Oh, nice. Okay. Ace is pumping. Yeah. you know that the coin, you know that the shit coins are sending when Ace is pumping. Jonesy has been killing it lately. Yes, he has. Happy birthday, Follis. Is it my birthday today? I'm curious to know where that information is coming from. It would be news to me. Rec Proof has been pretty active on Telegram. Yeah, I know. I know he's had a tough time with his health and also with trading. I think he's one of the... And I don't think he'd mind me saying this. I know a lot of OGs have had trouble adapting to the price action that we've had like over the last 12, 18 months. Very different from the price action that we had in 2021 and previous cycles. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with BTC. I want to be bullish. I want to believe. I actually do. I want to be bullish here because I think it makes sense. But we need to see more. We need to see a clean break above 67K. This rejection is, you know, it's not inspiring confidence, to put it that way. Matt reposts the stream. Thank you very much, Matt. My man. You get confetti. I don't make the rules, guys. That's hard-coded. The seniors in Kraken demanded. I said, will I get rid of the confetti rule? You know, will I... Someone repost the stream on X? I won't give them confetti, right? They said no. Confetti is the most important part of the stream. That's... You know, you can't make that... Like, you can't make a story like that up. You like that, Matt? Thanks. Appreciate the support. Do I trade NQ? I actually don't personally trade NQ, but very, very excitingly, I know that we had NQ launched on Breakout and Kraken Prop recently. It's the first non-crypto market being launched on Kraken Prop, which is super exciting. So yeah, I'm hyped. I actually may become a Nasdaq trader. There's a lot of guys in Chroma killing it. Not necessarily a ticker that I've traded myself. I don't really trade indices, although I do look at them from time to time, and obviously SPX is a chart that you need to pay attention to as a crypto trader. But yeah, now that it's on Kraken Prop, I might give it a whirl. It's different as well. I think no expiry. One of the main differences. It's not like the normal indices markets where it closes at the end of day. It rolls over. 24/7 markets. So yeah, excited to trade that. Forex KOL follows, yeah. I said that. I remember saying that in 2022 when it looked like crypto was going to be regulated out of existence. Forex KOL, Forex Follis. Coming up to New York Open here. We're very, very close. What's the difference between Kraken Prop and Breakout? So it's the same, effectively the same prop product. It's the same back end, just doing slightly different things and appealing to slightly different people, I suppose. Kraken Prop is obviously it's inbuilt in the Kraken Pro platform. So that's one of the main differences, and anything that you make, any payouts that you get, any withdrawals that you make go straight into your Kraken Pro account. But yeah, very similar backends, very similar products. Obviously, Breakout is part of Kraken, so it's not like they are different things at all. Very, very similar backends, just slightly different products. Hey Claude, make 65 to 50 the local bottom and no mistakes. Exactly. New York has just opened. Look at that. What a professional outfit we are. We now have a sound effect for the New York Open bell. Shout out Film Ninja for sorting us out with that one. When you say the same back end, are you referring to the server? I'm referring to the back end, and I don't think I can expand on that anymore because I'm not a dev. I'm not a tech guy. Wouldn't the 3-tap pattern be 3 lower lows before the market structure reverses? 3 lower lows. No, that's not how the 3-tap works. The 3-tap is very simple, and I'll draw it in 30 seconds. The 3-tap is basically, and it can be a reversal or continuation, by the way. That should be known from the outset. 3-tap is very simple. Let's do it like this. You have the low that sets the range low. You have the low that deviates the range. And you have the low that retests the deviation. That is it. Very, very simple. Okay. You have the low that sets the range, anchors the range. You have the low that deviates that first low. And you have the low that retests the deviation. So if you were to draw lines here, you would say that this is liquidity sweep. Let's make that slightly bigger. And this would be your demand or POI retest of some kind. You confused it with 3 drives. No, 3-tap is different to the 3-drive. This is a really good schematic to understand because it plays off a few different concepts. You have your range-bound mechanics, obviously. Price is trading in a range. You have your liquidity sweep mechanic, which is the second low. Then you have your POI retest. It can be a demand zone. It can be an inefficiency. Whatever the case may be. Very good schematic to be aware of. Very good. What's up, Flaws? Good to see you, sir. Where's my Pikachu? Man, you gotta let me know. I don't have it. I thought I had it saved, but I couldn't find it. I'm sure it's in Chroma somewhere. NQ leverage on breakout is low. Yeah, I know that they're just introduced it, so they're going to be iterating. I think they're going to make it much. They're going to make it bigger pretty soon. I think it's like literally like testing at the moment. You made bank from Zcash. I'll be back in Chroma next week. Love to hear it. Let's go. Flows, you've been missing out. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're staying healthy. Can we bet on the New York Open reversal? Yes, on Twitch. What is the best way to invest? That's NFA DYOR, but that's a big question, Mohammed. Big question. 2025 PA rugged the 2021 traders. That's genuinely true. He just trades ranges. He's more particular about his setups. There you go. 3 drives. Yeah, I think Jonesy was... I genuinely think I learned about 3 drives from Jonesy. Yeah, 3 drives is different. 3 drives is a reversal pattern. It's when you get something like this. I usually like to combine it with a breaker structure. So something like that. It's very similar to what we spoke about in terms of like distributive PA. This would be good distributive PA. In fact, why am I even drawing this? There's a perfect example of this on VVV. We saw it here. 3 drives. This is a textbook 3 drives. Price has done a mega pump. We get, oh my goodness. Mega pump. We have 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive, and then price starts breaking structure to the downside. At this point, this starts looking very much like distribution. Lower highs, failure to make any higher highs, losing the range. Now, I've already said that I think I was very bearish on VVV back in June when price was trading at around $15, $16. I thought that it would go lower. I thought that it would probably retest 10. We have now seen that. So people asking me like, hey man, what's the plan on VVV? Are you still shorting it? I think the time for shorting it is past. I think we're going to see a relief bounce, especially now that we are reclaiming the range. This chart looks really good to me. It actually looks fantastic. I'm not telling you that you go long here, but absolutely not looking for shorts on this coin anymore. So we had a 3 drive, we had a range, we lost the range low, but very importantly, what did we get? When price started losing the range low, right? We got this kind of PO3 type setup, right? Accumulation, manipulation, expansion, AMD or AME, right? We retested this 10 level. You can call this demand zone if you want. Some kind of order block for sure. It is the, oh, Doc, appreciate the follow. Where is the consolidation that led to the expansion? You guys know the question that I'm always asking when it comes to order blocks, when it comes to supply and demand. Where is the consolidation that led to the expansion? It was here. So what did we do? We retested that consolidation and pop. Immediately, 36% pop off the lows. And now we are arguably reclaiming the range. Extremely clean. Like, this might be the cleanest chart in crypto. It's so beautiful. The price action on this chart is extremely clean. So yeah, that will be the plan. That will be the plan. If we get some kind of constructive price action at these levels, I will be looking for longs. Lots of very juicy liquidity. Lots of very juicy liquidity here to target. Potential rotation back to range high. Rule of 3 in trading is God tier. 3 drives, 3 falling peaks, 3 rising valleys, 3 methods, 3 something soldiers. Isn't that one as well? You were in the ICU for almost, oh, your son was in the ICU for almost a month. Big surgery. Yeah, I heard about that, man. Sorry to hear, and hopefully everything is well now. Hopefully you and your family are all good. 3 black crows and 3 white soldiers. See, man? Don't let him tell you that traders are lacking in imagination. 3 white crows, 3 black soldiers. JTO looks kind of like that too, does it? Curve, I already did curve, my man. I posted a curve chart yesterday. We covered it last stream. What is the New York Open looking like so far? Ooh, pumping on NY Open. What do we think? Pumping on NY Open. Normally I would say that that's bad, but because we dumped the whole way into NY Open, I think it matters less. What's up, Yippee? Ça va, mec? The daily on LIT? Yeah, we just looked at the daily on LIT actually, but you're right. Cup and handle pattern. Cup and handle pattern. Want to look back at near here. This is obviously a chart that we covered on Monday's stream. Now, since Monday's stream, we had a 8% pump followed by a 10% dump. So there's lots happening in this chart. I am still waiting for the OR5 setup to play out. This was the setup we covered on Monday's stream. This is, for my money, an extremely high probability setup. Obviously comes on, it's a reversal play. So we have your downtrend here. You get your reversal, your break of structure. You get your range bound PA, that's the second OR, your range. You get your retest here, which means that you break below, or not break below, but you sweep below the range lows here, tidy up all this liquidity to retest some element of the reversal. In this case, it would be this demand block. Then you reclaim the range. That's the important part. You need to make sure that this isn't just weakness that's going to roll over. You need to make sure that it is a deviation. We reclaim the range. That's when you start looking for longs targeting the rotation higher. Or. I sound like a fucking seal when I say it, but hopefully that means it sticks in your mind. Reversal, range, retest, reclaim, rotate. Don't ever let them tell you that traders are lacking in imagination when it comes to naming these ridiculous things. Right? Or 5 setup. And yeah, as I said, near to me is at a point where it should be bouncing. Do not like the idea of shorting this at all. You're short from 66.3k. Can I hold it to 12k? Probably not to 12k. But nice entry, man. Nice entry. Having a flick around here. I want to mark up pump. I was going to mark it up yesterday, but I said I would mark it up on stream with you guys. So I'm going to come back to this in a minute or two. Nothing has changed on Hyperliquid. Solana, I know that you guys were looking for a long idea on this. So this is a very clean chart as well, and we kind of covered it last stream. The key consideration here is, can we prove that this move down was a deviation, right? And it seems to me that we're kind of proving that now. We accepted back in the range, and we're just about testing range low here, just about holding above it. If we can hold this level while BTC dumps, then the stage is set for a rotation back. Maybe not something like this. This would be pretty crazy, but a rotation back to the 90s for sure. 90 starts about here. Something like this. Come up and retest this supply zone for sure. Yeah, I think Solana is a chart that I'm interested in. Solana for the first time in about a year. Genuinely, I'm interested in longing Solana. Even if we come lower, right? Let's say this is your demand zone, something like that. If we sweep this low, like let's say BTC gives a flash dump, something like this, I could also see something like that play out. Retest the 70 level. Solana is a coin that, you know, I wanna have exposure to it in the next bull market. NFA, but I think it's gonna surprise people. Maybe not, you know, quite to the extent that it surprised people last cycle, but yeah, people writing off Solana, Ethereum, I think they're way premature. I think there's a big difference between coins like Solana and Ethereum versus like Chainlink or Polkadot, right? Thank you for the financial advice. No. This is NFA, not FA. The N means no. That's the that's the alpha for this stream. N means no. NFA, not financial advice. Curve, we did curve already. Check out Monday's stream. We marked up curve. I posted a curve chart yesterday on X. Nice. It means nice financial advice. Okay, I'll have to remember that one. Going forward, I'll have to remember that one. Yo, foolish. I love being called foolish. Can you talk about hype? Yeah, I mean, I looked at hype already, man. As I said, I love this coin. I want to have a big fucking bag of this going into the next cycle, but I have zero interest in buying or longing here, right? I remember saying when this coin was trading at like $75, I posted this chart. People say, hey, man, everyone's looking for that. It's definitely not going to happen. 100 soon, etc., etc. I have zero interest in buying hype at $70. I think this is a big channel that we've been in going back to 2025, and I think that we're going to retest channel low here. There's too much down here to get tested. Nothing goes up in a straight line, even great coins like hype. And if it does, that's fine. I'm at peace with missing these plays. You know, that's one of the mindset shifts that I want to hopefully impart on you guys, you know. If you miss a coin, that's fucking fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you don't have to. Being a trader doesn't mean that you participate in every single market move, right? Every single opportunity that the market gives you. And actually, that's the worst thing you can do, is try and split your attention too much over too many things, right? Because there's like 1,000 things happening in crypto every day, and if you dilute your attention that much, you're going to end up missing everything, right? You're not going to get everything. You're going to miss everything. So if you miss a coin, right? If you miss an opportunity, if something leaves the station without you, the last thing you want to be doing is getting depressed and getting sad, and then you're going to feel FOMO. You're going to feel like, oh shit, I need to get back in. I need to get exposure. Stay calm. Figure out what's the best way forward from here. What's the next plan? Always be planning, right? ABP. I don't know if that's an acronym, but it sounds good. Always be planning, right? Let's say the current situation is such that you're not going to get an entry. Train's left the station without you. All you can do now is regroup, refocus, and figure out what the next steps are. Okay, so that happened with me. I don't know, do you guys remember? I remember longing hype at, I longed it like $16. Like, you guys remember my hype play? It was like this, and I remember I was targeting, was it like 50 or something like that? It was a big trade. And I remember I got stopped out. By cents. It would have been easy to feel, you know, dejected, to feel upset, and then never trade this coin again. But, you know, that's just one small piece of the pie. This thing is continuing to chat, and I'm continuing to look at it and analyze it objectively and trying to find where's the next opportunity. Because if you let one opportunity affect you and then you put your head down, you're not going to see the next 1,000 that come your way. That's the beautiful part about crypto, man. There's always something around the corner. There's always another opportunity to go for. There's always a new chance to make it all back. But if you let that first opportunity knock your confidence, make you emotional, making you trade like a dipshit, and you lose your capital, or even worse, you lose your will to look for further opportunities, then you're never going to give yourself that chance, right? And that would be a crying shame. Solana looks good. It does, I agree. $20 retest was a gift from God. It certainly was. And even there, I got front ran on my entry because I was looking for slightly lower. You guys might remember. Can't remember where it was exactly, but I was looking for sub 20. I haven't checked out JTO. I can do that. What is usually the best time frame to look out for those constructive price action that you often mention? Well, it depends on the context. What do you mean? What's the context of looking for constructive price action? I don't know, man. Is this a good looking chart? This looks like Ondo. No, not Ondo. Ordi. And you all know how my long on Ordi went. Yeah, I don't know. Pump is a coin that I want to... And we're going to mark a pump in 4 minutes, yeah. Like on VVV. Well, on VVV, it's the time frame here. It's the 4 hour. I mean, there's no right or wrong time frame. You can look for constructive price action on the 15 minute. You can look for it on the 2 week. You really want a long stuff, but the timeline is way too bullish. I mean, man, I don't see anyone bullish on the timeline for altcoins. Is Ondo something? Yeah, we actually marked up Ondo last stream. So let me jump back into the Kraken Pro interface here. Ondo is a beautiful chart, and this is actually something we were looking for slightly lower. We didn't really get it, but I mean the idea played out. The idea that we marked this up last week, man. I said we were going to come down, we were going to retest the 033 level, and then we were going to send. Now we didn't retest 033, but we did retest about 034 and 25% pop since then. So the idea was correct. Maybe I drew this slightly wrong. That was your retest, perhaps. Slightly inaccurate on that, but the idea was bang on, man. Ondo looks fantastic. Really, really looks good. Not sure I necessarily have a trade here. At least not right now. You know what? Let's move this over here for a moment. Let's pull this up, and now we're gonna look for... The circumstances have changed. Now we're looking for a higher retest, because that's what has happened. That's what has happened is we have a new high to play off. So maybe something like this. So tasty. We're looking for something like that. And then you long this. We could even look for a move back towards this high. Something like that. Yeah, I like that. I like Ondo. I would say retests of 0.035, 036, 035 are for longing, because you can basically draw this as a new demand zone. This is your new demand zone. So we're just looking for constructive price action here. We're looking for impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, right? With this new bullish structure. Higher highs, higher lows, right? Let the structure guide your hand. Don't try and redesign the wheel. One Ondo, one condo. That was what they said, wasn't it? I actually bought Ondo at 50 cent. So what are we trading at now? Trading at about... Shouldn't this be... there we go. Trading at 4131. So I bought Ondo at 50 cent and I sold it at $1. I got a clean 2x on my Ondo play. Almost back to my entry now, but I remember buying it and that was what we would say to each other to hype each other up. Would a short from here be a good position in hype or too risky before because it already dropped? So as a general rule, it's like I would much prefer to gain long side exposure on a coin like hype rather than trying to short the strongest coin in crypto. It's the strongest coin in crypto. It has been the strongest coin in crypto this year. It's like you can be the contrarian and you can be the counter trend guy and you can take short positions on that coin, but I just think there are easier trades to take on that thing. Not to say that you can't short it, but for me, easier trades to take. Plan the trade and trade the plan. Yes, you're planning the short on BTC around the weekly NPOC. There you go. Does the reversal, says Angel, does the reversal happen from the move at the open or the direction prior to the open? Which one is reversed? It depends, man. It's not a hard rule. I often say that if price is range bound before the open, then you look at the price action after the open. If price is very strongly directionally trading before the open, then you look at that, and then the open is your reversal, right? Not a hard and fast rule. Can confirm shorting hype is extremely unpleasant. I just think there are easier trades to take. There are weaker coins to short. You know what I mean? BTC is above monthly high. BTC is above monthly high. Not sure what you mean by that. Scamming Florence. We had this long idea. This is basically the long idea that I was talking about at the start of the stream. If we come down and give this kind of a retest, and again, bring it back to that rec-proof 3-tap. Change our liquidity slightly because this is now the liquidity. Big dollar sign. Dollar bills. Change this as well. Where's my curved line at? Huh. Guess I didn't pick it as a... Where are curved lines, bro? Oh, here. That was on me. Didn't pick it as a favorite. Basically looking for these lows to get swept. And come back down to retest this demand zone. That's basically it. Something like that would be pretty clean. You didn't know Kraken had a YouTube channel? Well, here you go. Live and kicking. Do subscribe because I know that we're putting out a lot of good content and there's lots more content to come. So if you're watching on the Kraken YouTube, what do the kids say? Smash that like button, hammer that subscribe button, all those good things. Shorting hype while using Claude to vibe hack, it sounds like a plausible strategy. It sounds good, yeah. I'm not sure how feasible it is, but it sounds good. You were today years old where you found out? Well, there you go. The last coin I want to chart is Pump. I mean, we're just going to stay in this screen. I'm not gonna jump around too much. Pump is a really interesting one, and I've covered this already. The reason I find this such an interesting chart is because it's doing the exact same thing that LIT did before it has this huge run, right? Massive downtrend, starts losing momentum. We get this sideways chop, potentially a signal here that, you know, we're getting around a bottom type structure. Sellers are stepping out, buyers are stepping in, right? You would like to think that this price action doesn't look bad, especially with this strength that we've had off the lows here, almost a 2x. So if we're marking this up, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind here is this to me is a range. Something like this. I guess you could even bring it back to here, call that your range. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. We're gonna call this the range for now. We'll go back all the way to the end of 2025. We'll call this our range. Pull the volume profile. Let's go back to something like this. Makes a ton of sense here. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So that's good data as well. That kind of gives us VAL to work with, and a VAH. Actually, you know what? That's probably more accurate, if I'm being perfectly honest. Let's make this red so we don't confuse ourselves. Make this red. You know what? Let's make this red. Easier. Boom. Make this buy-side liquidity. Something like this. So, I mean, this looks good. There's no doubt about it. This looks good. We are reclaiming the range low. We are popping above the POC here, above the VAL. It looks pretty good here, right? I think the move that you should be targeting if you are bullish on this thing, if you're long this thing, is a rotation to mid-range first, but potentially even range high, right? We have a bunch of liquidity here. Buy-side liquidity. We have untapped highs. We have uno, dos, and now trace, right? This is your buy-side liquidity. If you're bullish here, you want to see something like this and acceptance at this level, right? That would be above VAH. It will be above these highs. You want to see acceptance at mid-range. That gives you the confidence to think that we're going to pop higher. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, where are the longs? Potentially something like this. Retest. Where was the consolidation before the expansion? You look maybe at something like this. Come down here, retest this range low level. Also confluence with this support level, resistance flip to support. Yeah, something like that I really like. If we get a pullback, so what would this be? 10% drop? 16% drop. Very doable. Very doable. Something like this. You get your constructive price action here. You long. That's where you long. Something like this I would really like. Obviously, obviously, NFA. But if I were trading pump, I'm probably going to set some alerts on this. This is what I'd be looking for. Yeah, quite like that. I mean, it's a nice chart. It's clean. As I said, these are the charts that you want to be paying attention to. These are the ones that are potentially reversing off the lows. I have zero interest in shorting this thing. Zero interest. And the thing about pump is, like, you know, the fundamentals. I don't even want to talk about the fundamentals really, but it occupies a lot of mind share for good and bad reasons. That can be bullish, that can be bearish, but it does occupy a lot of mind share. People are talking about it. Now, that means that it can be harder to trade because there are fundamentals at play that you don't necessarily have a read on. But yeah, I guess that's something to be aware. That certainly does mean that the potential for an upside catalyst is there, and we kind of saw that over the last month or so. One of the strongest coins on my watch list. So well explained, says Film Ninja. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the support as always. Make love to the like button, exactly. Is that what they say? Ondo is foreshadowing an RWA bull run. I think we're seeing that already. What chart request did you do? I saw one chart request for Ondo. That was it. Oh, silver. Yeah, sorry, I missed that. It's too late for that now. I'll do silver next stream. How about that? Where are my mod team? Mod team need to draw my attention to that. Fundamentals is an F word. Why did you choose that point for your F4VP? Because that's where the range-bound price action starts, in my opinion. You can draw it here if you want. You can draw it here if you want. It's just a data set. Where is the data? What data do I want to show? What do I want to extrapolate? In crypto, bottoms form after a wick, after extremely negative news. Yes, exactly. Pump on New York Open and still pumping. Do we finally break the Follis pattern? Well, as I said this, is that for me, this was the dump. So the New York Open reversal is this is what we're seeing here. When you get a strongly trending day, the New York is the reversal. When you get a range-bound day, you usually fade the first move after New York Open reversal. Guys, I think it's safe to call... Yeah, bullish. GG the Bulls. It's safe to call this one. So we're going to do that. If I can jump in here. Boom, boom, boom. No worries, guys. Choose prediction outcome. Choose outcome. It's pretty 50-50. GG the Bulls. Congratulations, Bulls. You carried the day. And on that note, guys, just coming up to the hour, so we're going to call it there as the beautiful David August set comes to an end with a Grizzly Bear remix, I should say, who are also one of my favorite bands. Just a really nice way of finishing out the stream. M, if you spam the chat, I will have to kick you. I said already, we covered Curve. We covered Curve last stream. Please don't spam the chat. You got liquidated for your whole portfolio, but made some florins. That's what matters. That's what really matters. No worries, guys. You made all your florins back. Did you get florins, Jonesy? Good to hear it. All right, guys, we're going to call it there. Thank you very much for joining. Some exciting news, boys. Remember I told you we have a new show coming. That show is coming in just over a week. So tomorrow week, we will have a new show launching. I'm going to tell you all the details about that show next week. So I'm going to tell you all the details of that show maybe on Monday's stream. But for now, we're focused on the last stream of the week, which will be Friday. Same time, same place. It will be the last open of the week, and then we're on to the weekend and on to next week. But we will see you back here on Friday for the next stream. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you to the mod team. Marvel Avenger. What's the Marvel Avengers? The new trailer? Is there a Marvel Avenger in Chroma? I don't even know what that question means, man. Thanks, Dog. Thanks, Vol. Thanks, Film Ninja. Thanks, Nine Manny. Thanks, Flaws. Thank you to the mod team extraordinaire, Sis and Marquise, as always. And, of course, thank you to Kraken for powering the streams. We will catch you on Friday, guys. We will be back same time, same place. See you then. Until then, try not to get liquidated, and we will see you next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Love you. Bye-bye.
David August.